Now let us see what is Docker and what is the use of Docker in setting up Hyperledger Fabric network. So Docker is a set of platform as a service products that use OS level virtualization to deliver software in packages called containers. So these containers are isolated from one another and bundle their own softwares, libraries, and configuration files. They can communicate with each other through well-defined channels. Though please don't confuse these channels with the Hyperledger Fabric channels. They are different. So Docker is necessary to set up the Fabric network, and because we containerize each of the Fabric components, like we containerize peers and we containerize orderer in the network. So if you see the Docker folder which you see here, so the Docker Compose is the tool that is used for creating the containers. We are going to see how we are creating the containers. Before that, we need to configure a file, which is this YAML file, Docker Compose YAML file. This contains the configurations needed for the Fabric uh, setting up Fabric network. So now let us see what are the configuration details that we need to see in this file. So first section you can see volumes. So volume configuration maps the directories where MSP, TLS and other organization fabric configurations are being used in the environment configuration. And we are mentioning the network name as PLN. So these are the services that we are gonna um, um, when we execute Docker Compose. These are the containers that will come up. First one is the orderer, second one is peer 0 of arg1 and peer 0 of arg2 and peer 0 of arg3. Now let us see the details over here. So you can see orderer.example.com, the container name is orderer.example.com. Image. Image is the base image that we will be pulling up from the Docker Hub. So when we download all the libraries, so this will be already present in your local, and this will be pulled from the local image, so which you can see here. So when we pull the image in the next section and when we set up the libraries, you can see all the images which are already available. So if you want to override certain properties that are present in that image, you can use all the environment variables to make the necessary changes to the existing image. So working directory. So working directory attribute sets the working directory of the peer. And the command. So command is that particular command that will run when you start up the container. So these are the volume maps. Volume maps are nothing but the mapping of the volumes, where the left side is the host volume mapping and the second one is the container volume mapping, and the same as the ports. So this is the host and the container port mapping, and the network is again what we have defined is PLN. The same configuration goes with peer 0 and peer 1 as well, keeping in mind that the MSPs of the organization and the TLS certification of the organization changes. Rest of them, most of the attributes remains the same. The IP of the addresses change, and also the MSPs change, and also the ports on which the each of the services or the containers run also will vary. So this is about the configuration, Docker Compose PLN.NET configuration. So I'll see you in the next section.